So, talking about the games this weekend, for you guys, a big opportunity to try to pick up some more ground in that conference race. It doesn't happen for you guys. Looking back on this weekend's game, what do you think the reasons were for the results?
You know, we're excited to still be talking about playoff hope. We have an opportunity still to statistically to make it into the CC2A tournament. If we win both games and Sonoma loses both games, we're in, which sounds like a daunting task for 4 games to happen, but when you really look at each game, it's a real possibility. It's something that we're holding on to with great hope and expectations to get that done. For us to make it happen, it's in our hands to beat Cal State Dominguez Hills on Wednesday night. They pose a lot of different threats. They don't have just 1 or 2 go-to guys. They're a plethora of players amongst a roster that's very talented. However, we were victorious down there. We think we can do that again Wednesday night here in Arcata.
I was going to say that Dominguez Hills, you look at that, I don't recall the names, but they have a guy who's second or third overall in rebounds, a guy who's also second or third overall in three-pointers. With a team that versatility, what does that do for a coach? How do you have to strategize against inside and outside?
Yeah, it's difficult because it's pick your poison, and it's very difficult to decide going into the game plan or making adjustments throughout the game. I'm confident my players this far in the season are able to adapt, and they've become a smarter team, more comfortable making adjustments on the fly. So we'll certainly be challenged to do that in these upcoming games.
Speaking of adapting, Wednesday and Friday are the games down to Thursday and Saturday. Does that change anything at all?
Preparation coming off the road rather than giving Monday off for study hall time and preparation for schoolwork. We had to practice, full practice yesterday on Monday, and again today on Tuesday, and go to war on Wednesday. Cal State Dominguez Hills has been challenged with the task of playing at Stanislaus State last Friday night and Cal State Chico last Friday and Saturday night, and then they went home to LA, and now they're back up traveling today. So they've covered some ground here in a short time period.
For you guys, 2 games, you mentioned what you need to do to get into the playoffs, but you have 2 games at home to do so. How, we talked about home court advantage being an advantage before. How big is it in this situation with you needing 2 wins?
I think our record speaks for itself that we play better at home. It's obvious that our home crowd here at Humboldt State is the best in the conference. Our facility definitely has some shine to it compared to some of the other venues that we play in the conference. So we are excited about playing our last 2 games here at home, just like any other 2 games throughout the season. Sonoma State has to go to UC San Diego, and Sonoma State has to go to Cal State San Bernardino. 2 very, very difficult teams to beat on the road. Again, those are 4 games that we're talking about here to get into the playoffs, and if you take a look at each one of those games, I like our chances.
Saturday's game, obviously, you got down early and never really got back into it. I mean, do you think, kind of looking back on it, it was kind of an emotional letdown after losing such a big game that, it's kind of like the game of the year, as you were saying a couple weeks ago? I mean, do you think there was an emotional letdown, less than 24 hours after the Sonoma loss?
It was a nightmare. We were down 14 at a blink of an eye, and we attempted to call as many timeouts as possible to stop the waters from gushing over the top of our necks and our heads. So we did our best to try to slow them down, but they were ready to go. I don't look at it so much as the inability of us to prepare correctly. I look at it as San Francisco State was ready to play. They had just come off that ESPN Top 10 highlight film the night before against Cal Poly Pomona. They were coming off a nationally ranked victory and an ESPN highlight. Those kids were ready to play. They were pretty excited about the game.
Free throw shooting was obviously a big thing Friday night in your struggles. I mean, was there really anything you can pinpoint, or was it you start miss a couple, maybe it gets into your guys' head, and then kind of just snowballs from there?
We've been struggling for quite some time throughout the season on shooting at a high percentage from the floor. We've been able to get to the free throw line, and for the most part, on the average, we've done extremely well from the free throw line. But from the floor, taking good shots, we've taken, but not great shots, and it takes great shots to win these games in the CC2A. So our percentage has been low. We've been a non-assist-oriented team throughout the season. It's been very frustrating that way. We got away from our motion offense, and we have gone to more isolation plays because of the talent on our team, and regretfully so. We need to take a look at that this week, and obviously next year as we prepare for next year's.
Line changes, are they kind of on the back burner for now? It seems like the minutes weren't as evenly distributed as they were a couple weeks ago.
Our platoon system is mind-boggling in itself in that 3 games prior to this last weekend, it hasn't gone that well as far as you look at our second group that goes in. But at San Francisco State, they were the savior. They're the ones that got us back in that game to have a chance to come back and win at San Francisco State. So yes, the platoon system's still in effect. We're going to take a look at trying to balance out those 2 platoons as we go to Wednesday and Friday night's game.
Coach, talking about this Friday night's game too, Cal State LA. Let's talk about them for a little bit. What do you know about them? We played them last time and lost to them. What do you have to do to get them to win column?
Cal State LA is going to be an exciting game to watch from a fan standpoint. You've got the premier shot blocker in the United States. I mean, he's number 1 by leaps and bounds, so to speak. He gets off the floor quickly. He anticipates any shot attempt that's taken inside 17 feet, and he is a game changer. And we'll have to prepare for that, and we can't ignore that. I mean, he's the real deal. So we've got that to deal with. They have guard play that they're large and long, skilled, and a very difficult opponent. And hopefully the travel up here to Arcata will warm down a little bit, and hopefully it won't be so bouncy. I know they'll be long, but hopefully they won't be so bouncy, and we'll have be ready for them, and hopefully after coming off a victory on Wednesday night.
We can't get out of here without the senior question. You have 2 seniors for this year's team. Their last 2 games. What has this year's group of seniors been in this team?
They're fantastic. You've got Tyler Brown, who came into this basketball program and learned the system. He's got championships under his belt, and will leave here a proud young man with a degree. He's graduated, and we're very, very proud of his academic success. And what he's brought to the floor this season as a senior is a polished leader, somebody who knows his role, which is a significant role on this basketball team. He's got a lot of minutes this year, and very proud of how he's played. If you look at his stats, they're the most solid on the team. When you talk in terms of shooting percentages and rebounding and assists and across the board, he's been a winner. And I think he brought that to the program as he learned his first year and then got to play last year. So he's been fantastic.
Very much.
Got one more to go.
That's right.